In this video, we're talking about the 5 worst neighborhoods in Bremerton, Washington, and we're gonna get it going right now. What's up, everybody? It's Cassandra Lopez with the Living in Bremerton, Washington channel. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and tap that little bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And honestly, I get calls all the time from people relocating here from out of the area, from out of state, sometimes even out of the country, and they've never been here before and they want to know what it's like to live here in Bremerton. And if that's you, if you're wanting to know what it's like to live here, then give me a call, shoot me a text, or email me, however you want to get a hold of me. I'll be sure you're totally taken care of when moving to Bremerton. So we're going to talk about a topic today that's a little taboo and maybe not one that a lot of realtors are supposed to talk about, and that's the worst neighborhoods in the area. So by worst neighborhoods, we're factoring in low median income, high unemployment rate, low housing prices, and the crime rate. So this is all public data, and I'll include sources in the description below, so you can look it up for yourself and do your own research if you want. But here's kind of the DL on what's going on in Bremerton. So if I have clients who want to see houses that are in these upcoming areas, I always recommend that they drive through the neighborhood first and check it out, because when you're buying a house, you're also buying the neighborhood, and location is the number one thing you cannot change about a house unless you have like millions of dollars and you can pick up your house and move it. I've seen it. I was on a boat once in Dyes Inlet, and here comes this barge literally with this house floating on 2 like rafter stilts, and it was like the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And why would somebody do that? Because it's so much more expensive than just buying a new house. But anyway, not my house, not my money, whatever. I've seen it done, but most of the time you're not going to do it. So you can't change the location, and location can factor up to like 60% of a home's value. So you just want to make sure that the house you're buying not only fits your needs, but it's going to fit your future goals as far as like your investment stuff too. And just to be clear, here in Bremerton, we don't have gangs or gang violence. It's nothing like that. A lot of the crime that we do experience is like petty theft and stuff like that. But in the link in the description, there'll be a breakdown of, you know, the types of crimes that go on here. So you can kind of see, and like it'll highlight different areas that statistically have been known for that kind of activity. So in no particular order, let's get it going. Area number 5 is downtown Bremerton. So I know in previous videos, I've talked about how awesome downtown Bremerton is in terms of location, like proximity to the ferry and the shipyard and Naval Base Kitsap Bremerton and all that good stuff. It is also one of the most affordable areas in Bremerton, and that comes at a cost. So downtown Bremerton is going to have kind of your homeless population and your scattered drug activity and that sort of stuff. You can also hear morning and evening colors from the base. If you're not into that sort of thing, like I am, then that might get on your nerves after a while. You can also hear a lot of the shipyard cranes and loud activity going on throughout the day. So if you live kind of closer in that, you know, maybe 4 or 5 block radius from the shipyard, you may hear that stuff throughout the day. Area number 4 is Navy Yard City / Charleston. So it's kind of 2 different names for the same area. And this area of town has kind of gotten a little run down over the years, a little bit rough around the edges, with the exception of the occasionally flipped house or updated owner-occupied house. This is going to be one of your more affordable neighborhoods. So Navy Yard City in Charleston is just east of Highway 3. And so you have a ton of freeway noise going through there, and especially during peak commuter hours, like when shipyard traffic starts backing up, it's just tons and tons of traffic for a couple hours every day. When the shipyard lets out between like 2 and, well, I guess it would start around 3, like between 3 and 6. And also it's directly across from the West Hills Autoplex, which is a huge as you probably guessed it, auto dealership. So lots of different makes and models and stuff going on over there, but you can hear their really loud speakers. It carries over the freeway into that neighborhood. And so, you know, it makes it a little bit less desirable. Homes are a little bit more affordable there. So I recommend doing a drive-through in those areas if you're considering it. There are occasionally some really good houses you can pick up. Just keep in mind that property values tend to stay a little bit more suppressed in that area. Area number 3 is Sheridan Park / Stevenson Canyon. So this geographically is actually a very small area. It is right across the street from Lions Park in East Bremerton, which is in itself really cool. Lions Park, Lions Field, a couple of different ways to say the same thing. Really, really large public park, and they have tennis courts and basketball courts and baseball / softball diamonds. They have a kids play area with a zip line. They have a paved walking path along the waterfront. Like, it's really gorgeous. So you would think, you know, with the park there, that it would be a great feature for homeowners and stuff. So right along the park and right along the water, you have some great condos and some great townhomes and stuff like that, and a couple of single family residences that are really nice. But then right next door, there'll be like a total tear down. And so it's just really kind of scattered like that. And then directly across the street, you have a ton of multifamily. So multifamily is going to be high, like 90% renter occupied. And so sometimes when you get into those neighborhoods that are really low percentage of owner occupied, that's when you tend to see kind of, you know, things aren't kept up, and maybe the yard isn't as manicured as it should be, or, you know, the house gets in kind of a rough shape and stuff because, well, that's twofold, right? It could be maybe the tenants don't want to keep it up, but maybe also the property owner doesn't want to keep it up either. So like, it could be a bunch of different circumstances. Area number 2 is West Hills. So West Hills is kind of how we talked about earlier, how Navy Yard City is on the east side of Highway 3. So West Hills is on the west side of Highway 3. And this area, as its name, is very hilly. It feels like when you're driving through the neighborhoods that a lot of the homes are just kind of tucked in, and half of them are hidden into the hill, and you can't really see your neighbors sometimes. And so there's a lot of pockets of areas that, you know, you can't really see what's going on. And so maybe that's a good opportunity to hide what you're trying to do. The sad thing is that a lot of those properties in the West Hills have amazing views of Sinclair Inlet and the shipyard and Mount Rainier. So it'd be more of the eastern and southeastern facing properties, but home to maybe some less desirable activity. It kind of shies people away. Now, having said that, you can find some great houses. There are little pockets street by street that you should check out for sure, but definitely take some time to drive through those neighborhoods so you can see for yourself and make the choice for yourself. Which brings us to area number 1, which is Gorst. I know, what a name, right? Who thought to name it Gorst? Gorst is the area of Bremerton right where Highway 3 and Highway 16 intersect. So if you're going southbound and you are trying to go to Port Orchard, then you would hook onto Highway 16, and it's this huge roundabout. It's almost like a 180 that you come down and around the horn and go over to 16. If you want to go to Belfair or Shelton, you would stay on Highway 3 and continue going south. So having said that, it's a really, really busy intersection. It's very high traffic, a lot of hours of the day. And so really you're hearing freeway noise like constantly if you live in the Gorst area. These property values have never really been able to appreciate much. They stay really suppressed because like we talked about, location, you cannot change where a house is. And if it accounts for that much of the home's value, then you know, that's one factor that's going to be very constant, is that freeway noise. Gorst also sits at the foot of Sherman Heights, which is a huge hill, and there's tons of neighborhoods up there too. But it's a giant hill made of solid rock. And in fact, there's a rock quarry up there that, you know, distributors get their rockery from for, you know, projects or landscaping or whatever. But there's lots of huge rigs and dump trucks and work trucks going through there all the time just because of that. And so it's really loud, really dusty. Combine that with all the freeway noise, and you can see why maybe Gorst might not be the best area. But again, you need to drive through it for yourself because it is a really affordable option. So if you're on a budget, that might be a good place for you just to be able to get something that you can afford. So you need to drive through for yourself, make sure it's okay, but just keep in mind that these are the places that we get the feedback of, you know, people maybe being less desirable. So hey, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel and tap that little bell so you're notified every time I upload a weekly video. And if there's a topic I haven't covered yet and you want to see it, be sure to leave it in the comments and I'll do a video. I'll give you a shout out. Be sure to text, call, or email me if there's anything I can do to support your relocation to Bremerton, Washington. Bye for now.